Did you grab any spare drinks?
No.
We'll send Tina. Welcome back, everybody, to the Turn Left Podcast, episode 79. Sorry, that was my phone. I was making sure that it was working. Because normally it shows either way. We are here, episode 79, live again with Davey Callihan, everybody. Catch this on YouTube tomorrow, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you can find it. What's up, Matt Cheatham? It's working. Normally it has a little thing next to it that shows. There we go. All right. Let's get right into it, Davey. We also have, like I said, we got Davey here in studio, obviously, but we have two better lookings again backstage this week, the lovely Tina and, of course, Emily Callihan this week.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. All the way from, well, you said y'all are up at Dominion this week anyway.
Yeah, we race tomorrow, so we're staying in a hotel up there, but we're from Culpeper now.
Wow. Well, I'm digging the hotels up there. That's the second time now that I've had a guest that was farther away that's staying up there and comes down on a Friday night, so I dig it.
Yeah.
So the big news is last time you were here, we talked a bit about, you said you'd come back after your first late model win.
Yeah.
And you were just saying you hope you got one, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, stacked field, Peyton Sellers, you know, a whole bunch of people, Air Doug,
Yeah.
Mason Bailey. Your first year in super late models, or whatever you would call them,
Yeah.
comparatively to like the limited late model
stock. Yeah.
late model stock.
Over
So
the limited. Yep.
either way, get right into it. You've won now 2 races, and Gen X. How long have you been associated with them?
Gen X came on with me, I think after the first race.
Okay.
They, we've always been good friends, but they, we're affiliated kind of through Bobby Creech is how we met, and they're a team that's doing a limited late model program, and they have several drivers that drive for them, but they wanted to come on board and team up and see what we could do together with their help, and my stuff. It's still my car, but they back me. They bring guys to the track. They help me,
Set up and stuff.
Some setup stuff, tires, stuff like that. Just backing me financially and with knowledge and help.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep.
What's up, Marcy Williams? Sorry, at the beginning of the episode, I was having a small anxiety attack. I didn't know if everything was working because it's the first time we've been back live for quite a while. But either way, so the 2 late model wins. Tell us about that. Tell us about the first one, because obviously, like I said, we've skipped now to 2. Now you're getting a little bit greedy with the wins out here. What was the first one like, since that was, obviously your first big win like that?
Man, it was kind of surreal there for a while. We had a new car starting the year, so I thought we would be competitive. But to say I was going to go out and win in a field like that, that's, we show up every week to do that, but realistically, I didn't know if that was going to be a possibility this year. But obviously it was, and when it happened, I was probably shocked like a lot of people, just, kind of shocked that the car came around the way it did, and we were able to pull that off that first week.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually there that night. Me and Tina were there.
Awesome.
We were able to watch it right before, because that was right before the UCAR race. It ended up getting rained out or whatever, so we were sticking around. So congratulations again, dude. That's
thanks,
awesome.
Man. Thanks.
But now to the second win.
Yeah.
Tell me what that was like, because that was over Peyton Sellers. And Peyton Sellers obviously is a widely known name in the sport. Tell me what it's like. I can't even get him to accept my friend request on Facebook. So tell me what it's like to, bump and run Peyton Sellers on the last couple laps.
Man, it was honestly, it was. And I don't want to hype him up too much. He's my competition, but growing up, I've looked up to him. Just he was one of the, I guess, greats of late model racing. So to be able to race with him is kind of a privilege, and learn off of him, and then to be able to kind of do, I guess, do that last restart better than him was, kind of like a dream come true for me. So it was pretty cool.
That was exciting.
It was exciting, yeah.
So was that win more exciting or less exciting than the first?
I think the first was more emotional.
Yeah,
There was a
that
lot of emotion.
Just a plain car. You could tell it
Yeah.
was just you.
Yeah.
And we've talked about. We'll get into a little bit later what I've said, the Davey versus Goliath reference. But Jesse Vaughn wanted to shout out. He said Davey, one of the easiest he's ever worked with. So tell me what it's like. You went down and you had Jesse spotting for you in an ARCA race. Tell me about that a little bit.
Man, Jesse did a hell of a job. Awesome spotter. Helped me out a ton. Gave me great information. Got me up to speed on those cars in that series because he works with, a lot of bigger teams and stuff. So he was able to give me good information, and it was a great experience all around. Again, I thought was kind of one of those Davey Goliath moments where we had a little bit smaller team, went in, and I think we ended up with the best short track finish on that for that team since they've been operating. But we were inside the top 5. They're at halfway at lap 125 or something like that. So we were real competitive. We come
running
from
really well.
last to 5th. So we were running well and just made some bad adjustments at the end. We got a fresh 4 set of tires there and just went the wrong way with them and ended up costing us there. We went a couple lap down at the end, and a lot of people did. I think the 18 car lapped up to 2nd or 3rd.
Really?
So I mean,
And what kind of wrong adjustment? Obviously, if it was too tight, you went tighter. If it was
we were too free on entry and just tightened the car up way too much. I mean, to the point where go in the corner, just my arms were crossed. I couldn't get the car to turn.
You corrected the problem, but just way too far.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you made a loose car looser, and I'm like, well, who did that? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
Just went the wrong way, went way too tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And that was racing for Mullins Racing. Willie Mullins, obviously, you got the shirt on. Show him that tip.
Yeah.
Woo! Not you, ladies. Guys, put your shirts back on.
They can leave them off. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Turn the camera around real quick. So anyways, shout out to Willie. I'm going to try to have him on sometime, too. I've heard he's a cool guy.
He is. We got to get him on the show. He loves doing things like this. So we'll get him out here.
Yeah, and get Dinah backstage.
Dinah. Actually, give Dinah her own show.
Okay.
Because she would be well worth a show.
Yeah, that's true. We do need to. We'll put Willie backstage. Just kidding.
And
Willie.
she would get a kick out of that. I promise you that.
Yeah. No. I'm down. I just need to schedule it. Like I was telling you before the show, I got to work next weekend and stuff. So I don't think I'll have a show next weekend, but we'll get it worked out. I've already talked to her.
He's actually, shout out to him. He's in Elko, Minnesota.
Oh, really?
He just left this afternoon. He has an ARCA race tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So they're all the way out in Minnesota. Shout out to him. Hopefully he he hits all the goals he wants to hit and has a good finish.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Willie again, and good luck tomorrow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Andrew Fuller said nice photo. I think it's Andrew Fuller's photography.
Is it?
So everybody shout out Andrew Fuller Photography.
What's up, Andrew?
You got to throw a tag on that bad boy. I don't think I took it off there. I wouldn't have. I would have left it. What's up, Scott Lang? Grayson Cullither. What's up, buddy? All right. So we talked about your wins a little bit, and the first one, obviously, you said is your favorite.
It was an emotional win for me because. For both of us, I think I was probably in tears when she got up to the car. Just
Emily's crying right now.
Just a lot of hard work, and she's seen it firsthand, so she could really appreciate it. But just long nights, trying to get the kids to bed, trying to do all your life duties, and try to build a brand new late model, and then to go out and win against arguably the best field in the country right now. So. It was emotional.
I don't even know how much you could argue that. It's stacked.
And I had a little bit of luck that night, and that's what brings me back to the second one is Peyton got knocked out that night. There were some good cars that did have some bad luck, which I'd rather be lucky than good. But there's a lot of people, haters and stuff, that'll say, "Oh, well, he only won because he got lucky," and so to back it up with the second one was pretty important to me to really justify that I belong to be part of the winning class there.
Yeah, and you were leading points there for a little while too, weren't you?
Yeah, we were leading points up until I got my motor pulled out, which I'm sure we can get into that. But
I think they did enough that night, didn't they?
yeah, you know, and when you do that to a small team like me, it throws you off your mojo. Things got overlooked on the car that week that shouldn't have been.
Because having to put everything back together.
Yeah, just too much work and not enough time to do it. So it kind of threw us off, and we ended up having a bad weekend on the week back, which kind of took us out of the points deal. But we weren't really there to race for points either. So we knew that the points thing was, you know, if it lived and kept going, that's great. But that's not what we were.
It was still cool for a while.
It was cool.
And you had Peyton Sellers sweating out of his heels. I mean,
yeah. To be able to ruffle up a guy like him a little bit, you know, is pretty cool. Because, like I said, he's the man. So
he's leading points now.
Oh yeah.
Is he leading national points too?
He is. I think he was leading national points when that happened.
He's not that good until he accepts my friend request on Facebook. I can tell you that much. What do I got to do? I got Mason on. I got you on. I've had Air Doug on. Like he's got to at least heard about this by now.
Yeah,
maybe not. You know how it is. Some people don't really mess with Facebook or YouTube at all. So I'm jealous of them.
Yeah. I don't really know. You know, Peyton does stay pretty low key. You know, I see him online a little bit, but
I think it was there today. It was raining cats and dogs.
Oh, he's there. He's probably there 2 days before.
Yeah, he's there every day pretty much.
Well, yeah, he's always there the full day before the race, sometimes longer.
And yeah, we talked about how emotional it was even for you. What's your take on the whole racing thing? 'Cause you did motocross for a long time before that. I had my Justin Burst shirt on, but like I said, it smelled like 2015, so I had to change it out. So you've been dealing with the racing thing for a long time. So are you used to it? Do you enjoy it too, or do you hate it?
I mean, I love it. He's lucky. I kind of grew up with it. Like I grew up.
He's really lucky.
Yeah.
That's a true statement.
Yeah.
I am.
Like my brother raced motocross. That's actually how we met.
Oh,
my grandfather was actually a part of his dad's old Dominion team and was a helper for that.
Yeah.
I wasn't so knowledgeable as far as short tracks go, but grew up with my parents, or my dad, my grandfathers, all watching NASCAR all the time. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, big NASCAR family.
Yeah.
So they're a fan of Davey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're the only ones.
Yeah.
Woo! We always do a woo. Oh, by the way, if you need a drink, just let us know. I don't even remember what I was asking you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, someone's up.
I know how that goes.
Our night nurse Tina has to. So, all in all, you like it, and you were kind of raised into it anyway. So it's kind of the same old for you. It's not like.
Yeah, we actually met at Unadilla.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was at a Loretta Lynn regional, which is the only year I actually made it to the national.
Ooh.
And me and her, I had actually dislocated my shoulder. She was in nursing school and kind of came over to give me a hand with that. And we had camped together. You know, our families camped together that weekend. So I noticed her, and I guess the rest was history from there. But
Okay.
yeah. So she knew what she was getting into right off
I
the
didn't know
bat.
what you were getting into there for a
Writing
second.
on the wall.
Yeah. All right, so that's cool. And who is your favorite, now that we're talking about the motocross a little bit, I don't want to take up the whole show with that because we talked about it a little bit last time.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite motocross rider? I don't think I asked you last time.
Currently?
Sure.
Oh, man. Currently, probably,
He loves to see Bam Bam do good.
yeah, I
it's
do.
easy. I was wearing his shirt earlier. Why are you making this
Man,
hard?
he disappoints me, though,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Me
When
too.
he's on it, I love watching Bam Bam. I wouldn't call him my favorite, though.
No, but you get excited when he does well.
I'll make it easy. Bubba Stewart's my favorite because he was
Of all time. He doesn't run
time.
anymore.
All time. He just doesn't.
But who's
race
your
anymore.
favorite now?
Man, that's so hard. Plessinger.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. What's up, Patrick Fisher? Do you know who Patrick Fisher is? Big Mohawk guy?
I can't say I do.
You know him if you saw him, trust me. What's up, Patrick? He called in the show one night. Oh yeah, you wanted to talk about the teardown thing a little bit more because you were saying, I think I probably interrupted you. For a little team just rebuilding it, things were missed. But is it also financial too, because
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's just gaskets, but it's still.
No, it was a big financial hit because, and I'll give you exact numbers. That it cost $1,500 for the protester to put up the money to do what they did, and that was pulling the crankshaft and
you know
cam.
who protested you?
Yeah, John Goins' team, Torp, the 90 car. That's who protested me. But
I haven't had any Torp guys on the show yet, so you're not offending me.
Yeah, it's water under the bridge now, but that's who put the official protest in. I've heard rumors that there was more people involved with that deal, Sellers. But we'll leave that on. I can't confirm or deny that. But anyways, yeah, it was $1,500, right? So to put a motor back, you send the motor back to your motor guy or my motor guy, which is Harrington.
Yeah.
So it come from Harrington.
Yeah.
Which it's 100% legal.
Yeah,
I mean, you buy a motor from Chevy, it's legal, right? You buy
Yeah.
a crate
Harrington's
motor.
not going to build you.
Yeah, they won't do it. So I knew we were right. I mean, hell, we needed more motor. I mean, I know that, but
Everybody does, especially at a track like that.
Yeah. So I was like, well, if y'all want, y'all want to pull it down, whatever. It's just, in the back of my mind, it was just the fear of knowing how much work that was going to be to make it back to the next race. So, yeah. So, they pulled all that out, but it cost me $2,200 to get it put back together. But the kicker is you don't get $1,500. So if
The track keeps that.
The track keeps half, and they pay the motor dyno guy that did the official teardown, the track guy, like $400. So when you divide it all up, I ended up like $480.
Dang.
And now I got to come up with $1,500 to get my motor put back together. So there's some. They need to fix that.
Well, and what about? Has the protesting thing always been happening? I mean, I know that this is your first year in late model stock, but I don't remember it happening this. I mean, obviously, the tech shed would tech things every single week.
Yeah.
And the tech shed, I don't know if this is just a NASCAR thing, and I'm just used to the backyard track of Southside Speedway, but I've never even heard of it happening a lot at Dominion. Was it even last year or the year before?
No.
Because now you have, I think it was Doug Barnes Jr. protested Peyton Sellers' tires one night, right?
Yeah.
I think it's even in his vlog. I'm not
exposing
him.
Yeah, it's in his vlog.
And does that cost money?
Yeah.
$1,500?
But no. So like, if you do like a chassis protest or whatever, and I could be totally wrong, but from what I read in the rule books, it'd be like $300. If you think I have a illegal control arm, and you want to protest it, it's $300. Well, when you get into the motor side of it,
it's way more expensive. What about the tire side of it?
That I don't know a number on. As far as the tire thing, I would imagine it would probably be $300 or something like that. Not a big.
That
number.
wouldn't take long. They just have to look at the book, numbers in the book, and then look at the tires on his car.
Yeah, it should have been a pretty straightforward. They
protest. Should be checking that at every race anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to blast Dominion here. I'm just saying,
yeah.
that if that's protestable, why wouldn't Doug Barnes or yourself or anybody just protest that every week if it wasn't too expensive?
Yeah.
And even if it is too expensive, somebody, a bigger team with higher funding, could afford
$300 to really any team, and I don't have, I'm one of the lower teams, and I
any
could, I
team
could
other
do
than
that.
y'all.
Yeah.
You could, but that's what I'm saying.
So,
why wouldn't? You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Is it going to be every week now?
I don't know.
And I'm not blaming. I don't know if I'm blaming Doug Barnes Jr. for doing the tires and those guys for protesting your motor. I'm not necessarily. Now that it came back legal, I definitely am questioning it. But at the time, who knows what they
didn't
did,
know that at the time, and like I said,
they figured
in a way,
you shocked them
I'm not
so
happy
much.
about it, but in a way, I was happy because I knew it was going to justify everything I'd done.
Yeah,
they're not going to just say, "Oh, some, backwoods team that is winning because they got horsepower."
Yeah.
No. We have a legal motor, and I guarantee you the people that and guarantee you the people that did protest me, they've got more than me. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying he's got more than me in the motor department. So, and he's been running good. He's run good the last few weeks. He's picked up, and he's kind of back to where he was. He fell off the horse there for a little while, and I mean it happens.
And
know?
if the motor would have been, I guess it all depends on what it is that's illegal and different things. Like I feel like if the motor would have come back illegal, they would have given you a P something penalty.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I'm pulling this out of Doug Barnes Jr. Air Doug's vlog too. He said that he pretty much did change the tire to a practice tire or something like that in between races.
Yeah.
But the track didn't do anything about it.
No.
And
I heard the same thing. And like I said, I don't want to get too much in the middle of it on my end because I don't fully know. But
well, we're just the messenger here.
Yeah, we're just the messenger. But I heard the same thing. I know there's a lot of games with tires. You know, especially from first race to second race, you can say, "Hey, I have a slow leak in my right rear." Well, I mean, how hard is it to make it a slow leak? I mean,
and not only that, but it's very hard to prove and very like the track is just usually probably like, okay, go ahead and change it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not like I said, I'm sticking up for the track too. I mean, what are you supposed to do as a track?
Yeah, so
how
you're
do
saying
you know if it's legitimate or not?
So you're saying that he pretty much gave them what could have even been a true story, and they believed him and approved it.
Yeah,
and
they're going to. I mean, the track has to stick up. Yeah, doesn't have to, but Peyton. It's hard to do anything to a guy like him when he's an ambassador, more or less, for our series.
And the sport,
in the sport, yeah. So I mean,
you don't want to paint his name badly at your track.
Yeah, no.
If it's nothing really that,
right.
I mean, if he would have had 4 brand new tires
but,
that he bought online, that would have been one thing.
If anyone thinks he's 100% legal, I mean, no.
Well, you heard it here first. Davey
Callihan
Callihan called him a cheater.
No, none of us. I mean, everyone's doing something, even if it's gray. I mean, it's everyone's doing something to try to find an advantage over someone else.
Yeah.
That's racing.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry to interrupt
go
you.
ahead.
Has anybody else been protested other than you and Peyton so far?
No. And I'm a little confused still. I'd still like a real answer on why I was singled out when everyone knew, including the people, anyone knew. I knew. Look, if I won 8 in a row, fair enough. If I run 3 in a row, fair enough. I'm not that guy.
Yeah, but
so why mess with me?
Well, because like I said, you shocked them, and they thought just what you said. There's no way that this backyard team, is running with us without a hot motor.
Right.
So,
which in a way was a compliment.
Yes, kind of backhanded, but
yeah, backhanded compliment, but I'll take it.
Good job. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, and that's what we need to. Not we. I don't care at all. Well, I do care, but that's what needs to be discussed or figured out. Because, like I said, if it's not too expensive, there'd be no reason not to do it for the bigger teams. They could just protest the whole top 4 every week.
Yeah. Well, and
something like tires should be done anyway.
At some point, the track would come in and they can accept or deny. I'm sure you got into this with his vlog or the Doug thing. Is they can accept and deny any protest.
Oh.
So like I could go in this week and say, you know what, I want to pull Sellers' motor, and they could be like, we don't want, we're not accepting that protest, or whatever. I mean, it could be anything.
That's what you tried to do last race, and that's what they told him. I'm just kidding.
I'm always, man, I look at it this way. I don't. It's going to take a lot for me to protest someone. If anything, I'm going to get even before I protest.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I'm wired. Some people aren't wired that way, and that's fine. But, it is what it is, and I'm glad I came out on the good end of the deal and shut a lot of people up and credited all my wins and move on.
Yeah. Who does this? Is somebody that messaged me. I get messages all the time. People think I'm like some setup master or something. They're like, what's back when you were doing mini stocks, what spring do you run, and what they ask me all these kind of questions. I'm like, dude, the last 4 years I just drove for somebody else. I literally just got I kept it at my house. That was it.
Yeah.
And tried not to wreck it, because if I did, then so anyways, and then it might be somebody asking you through my messenger. So I'm just gonna. It might not be for you, but this question is now for you. You said that your motors get built at Hedgecock. What did you say?
Harrington. Yeah.
Who does your suspension setup? Do y'all do that yourselves, or does Gen X do that?
So a lot of it's done through this guy named Hippie.
Yeah.
He works for Bobby Creech.
Yep.
He's been my crew chief this year.
Okay.
So all the suspension stuff and all that, I have to credit towards him because he's the one that's, he's been crew chief in the car. was I guess him and Bobby's setup going into this year, and we really haven't changed much straight out of the shop before we even race this year. You know, little things, but as far as spring package and, you know, control arms and all that, everything stayed the same. So they're the ones that gave me that baseline, and pretty much we haven't veered far off of the baseline.
Yeah, I know, and that was another thing too. As we get into the Davey versus Goliath thing, even though we've talked about it a lot already, but like Hippie, let's just talk about Hippie because I know who he is. I don't know him well, but he's been doing this forever.
Yeah,
he's got a ton of experience, tons of wins, tons of probably championships. I'm reading off a history that I don't know. I just know he's got a big name and a big history.
Yeah.
But the last time that he was winning races like this and points leading against Peyton Sellers was, I mean, a while back, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was probably Southside at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know even who the driver would be. He's worked with so many. But
and nothing against Hippie. I mean, the technology and stuff nowadays is insane. He
it
never
is.
was bad at it. He
It
never
is.
fell off.
It
It's
is.
just
competition
stepped up so much.
And, you know, I don't think it was a secret that Hippie and Bobby both, they struggled at Dominion. I don't want to say it was their stuff, or just they hadn't had the right combination yet to win
Crew
down
chief,
there. Crew
race
chief,
car,
driver, car. You know, they've had fast cars in the past, and the driver wasn't up to it, or, you know, whatever the case was. But they just hadn't hit on the right thing. And this year, you know, they really, they stepped up and they helped the right driver. And I was able to give them better feedback, and we kind of worked together to, you know, it's a team effort. And, you know, they did great, I did good, and that's what we got, you know. So, but my car hasn't been on the scales yet this year, and it's not a good thing. I'm not proud to say that, but I mean, you know, we don't do nearly what we should. You know, the car really needs to be worked on 3 days a week at minimum, and it doesn't happen. So, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Emily.
Yeah, I mean, life happens, you know.
I know,
It's
just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, and that's fine though, because teams do things different ways.
Yeah.
When my brother and I were in street stock, before I got into grand stock, and even the first, I think, 5 races of my grand stock career, we were like literally dominating the street stocks. And I'm not trying to brag. He was doing it before I was. He set up my car mostly. I was just driving it. So we won, we won 10 out of 12 between the two of us.
Yeah.
So we had never, everybody else in the competition, they were scaling their cars. They were doing all kinds of stuff. We had a couple tricks up our sleeve. I'm not going to say that we had like slow cars. We had fast cars. Never went on scales.
Yeah.
We could just look at them. And this is street stock too, to where you couldn't do it so much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a U car. Like you don't need to scale a U car.
Right.
Our U cars have never been on scales other than at the track to make sure.
Right.
But there's not really much. And obviously, a late model is a whole different story.
Yeah.
But there's still, at that point, the technology had come to street stocks where all of our competition, and they were beating us sometimes, but all of our competition were scaling their cars.
Yeah.
We still weren't,
Yeah.
but we were still outrunning them and had faster times and everything, not just out driving them. But our cars were genuinely faster. So I don't think that you don't have to be embarrassed by not having it on the scales yet. Not that you said that you were, but you kind of can have a little bit of pride in it. As weird as it sounds, because as goofy as that might sound for a lot of big teams, and Peyton Sellers, crew chief, probably just had a stroke if he's listening. But the fact that you're running that well without even hitting a set of scales, and everybody else is going to think you're a liar because they think I'm a liar about the street stock thing.
Wow.
But it finally did hit a set of scales. That was another thing too. Is I went into grand stock, still wasn't on scales. We also didn't have spring buckets.
I bitch about it every week. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm proud of it.
Okay.
She knows. I mean, I do. But it's the truth. I mean,
y'all haven't been desperate for speed yet. You've been fast every week, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, you know, I don't think so much that we're falling off. I think that everyone else, you know, as the year goes on, is doing all their homework and testing and, you know, doing the things I'm not, and are finding a little bit of speed here and there. So, you know, we're gonna have to step our, you know, our game up a little bit here, you know, as the season moves forward. But, you know,
Yeah, I mean, I like that attitude, but still, this is the most stacked field in the nation, pretty
Yeah,
much, too.
yeah.
So you can't, especially as your first
Well, and
year
there's
in a
been
late model
times
stock.
that I have scaled and pulled down the car and done stuff, and it hasn't been any better, or it's been even worse. So I mean, it's not just a easy fix. I mean,
Sometimes you don't want to get into what you don't know.
right. And I mean, and Hippie knows all that. I'm not the guy. He knows all the technical, stuff.
All that side.
All
He would
that.
be the one mostly doing it.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, like I said, if you're running well still, which, I mean, I don't think you're falling off. I think the field is insane. That's like Doug Barnes saying he's fallen off because he only won the first race or two or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the case. He's
No,
fast still.
yeah.
He'll be back. You'll be back. I think you're fine. But I like the attitude of wanting to get it on there and make it even faster. Because, I mean, if you do go out, I mean, imagine if you,
it's more or less just trying to find things that maybe not be working the way they were. If the spring starts to give up, or something like that, is really what you could gain, I guess, by checking that stuff more frequently.
And that's true, too. I guess I've never really thought about it because I've only raced there 3 times. But that track is hard on cars, I bet.
It's hard on cars. Yeah, it's
Not to mention wrecking, but
yeah,
even just
yeah.
hard on driving them.
Yeah.
What's up, Troy Mason, if I hadn't said so yet? And what's up, Scott Lang and Marcy?
Mr.
Mullins
Lang.
Rice.
Mr. Lang has a big part of my racing too.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. He's kind of like a silent sponsor, I guess. But I drove for him in the limited car, and that's who I won all the races with. But he's helped me out on this deal too, and his name's not on the car or anything yet, but he has helped me quite a bit, and I'm grateful for all his support.
I'll edit that part out where I said his name. And Paul Henry's, give them a shout out, I guess. You said
Yeah.
that's your biggest sponsor.
Yeah, Paul, awesome opportunity to have him on the car. It's actually family, so it's her uncle. So to have him come on board, he's a big part of why we're able to do what we're able to do this year. And run all the races, and his his support has made it to where we can be competitive. Without
Shout out
him,
to
I
him.
might run half the races at best. So
Shout out to Paul.
yeah.
You have his boxers on. Not his hat or his shirt, but you got the Paul Henry boxers on.
Man, I wish he had some. I'd get them.
He doesn't have any merch.
No. Well, he's got merch, I
He's
think.
got some. We'll have to get some.
I don't have no merch from him though. I need some merch, Paul.
Yeah, get us some merch, dude. He was supposed to bring me a Paul Henry's window installation hat, and he said he didn't have any.
They do awesome work, by the way. Awesome work. That's who's going to build my new house here coming up.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exciting. I was going to say, I think lumber's coming back down, I heard.
I'm still waiting.
You already bought it all?
No,
Okay.
no.
He's like, yeah, I bought it when it was high, I know.
No,
I'm going to
no.
resell it and buy some more.
I'm waiting that out. Still living in the in-laws' basement.
Yeah.
Doing it big time.
Thanks,
yeah.
Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Shout
Shout out
to
to Mom and Dad.
The biggest
Daddy
sponsor.
Winky,
Yes.
thanks, bud.
Yeah. What is up, Ronnie? I think I already gave him a shout out, but that's okay. As far as the budget wise, like you obviously Paul, shout out to Paul again. You, Paul, did your dad help you out at all financially?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shout out Jeffrey.
Yeah,
That's his name, right?
Jeff, yep.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
But
Gen
either
X.
way, y'all are spending. We're not going to talk exact numbers, but
Yeah.
comparatively, I've had people tell me just about how much, roughly, like, say, not even Peyton Sellers, a couple people below that are spending. And so, I mean, we're talking 6 digits and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'll
So-
put it this way. I won't say any numbers exactly, but
I just did, but that's my bad.
yeah, well, we're not even close to that. But
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Are you
I'm
cut that
paying.
in half?
I
or-
probably race on a year budget. My budget is probably what a lot of these guys' weekly budgets are, or what they pay to race one race.
yeah,
Maybe
counting
two.
their whole week
Maybe
of practice and stuff like that.
two races at
Yeah.
most. But I race an
All
entire
their
season.
practice tires.
Yeah.
How often do you practice? Do you try to go up there sometimes during the week, or do you pretty much just go and race
Just
day?
I will do a Friday, like tonight or something. It got rained out tonight, but they do like a 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock practice before Saturday on
Nice.
Friday night. So we'll hit like one of them, but we don't do any single testing or
Paid
Yeah,
practices.
we don't do any of that.
Hmm.
Nope.
Well, that's awesome. I think everybody, even that night when we were there, I think even Bud said something about it, but you had a standing ovation on the backstretch, and that was your first win, and that was when the car was plain.
Yeah.
Didn't even have the Gen X,
Yeah.
backing yet or
Yeah.
anything like that. So, just I don't know. It's just like I said, it's just cool to
It
watch.
was, like I said, it was emotional for me because I did notice all that, and it's a pretty cool deal to have, have people support the small guy like that, and it does feel good to be that guy.
Yeah.
So.
Emily's crying again. But yeah, no, it is fun. What? Do you qualify for Rookie of the Year? Do they do that in late model?
No,
They don't do any of that.
I don't think so.
It's just for chumps like me that want to. Not even that I ever. Actually, yeah, I did do Grand Stock Rookie of the Year. But yeah, I guess they don't even do that in the high up divisions.
No.
They do it in NASCAR.
I think they did like a state rookie thing. I was a state, actually, 1 year at Old Dominion, I was a rookie. I think it was a NASCAR deal,
Yeah.
like
So
award.
You
I-
raced at Old Dominion too.
Yeah,
Did we talk about that last time?
yeah, a little bit.
What were you gonna say?
I got it in like '08,
The car.
the rookie of the year for late model.
And whose car were you driving then?
My granddad's, so a family car.
Yeah.
So,
Does he still have a car, or is that the
no,
Okay.
no. He's out of it now. He moved to Florida.
Who technically owns the one that you have? Your dad or you?
This one,
Yeah.
it's me and my dad split
Combined?
down the middle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
50-50.
And who built the chassis?
That's a Bobby Creech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. You
Yeah,
said
Brand-
that already.
Yeah, it was brand new this year. So
Oh wow. So
new Creech car. It was literally, we were scrambling the first race of the season. The car was not even the body wasn't even on it like the week before.
really,
So like, yeah, it was.
I remember you telling me that because I think I don't know what happened there. Maybe that was back when you came on last time.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean, we threw it together.
I don't even think you practiced that Friday.
We didn't
I think
practice.
You were still
We
up
were
until
still-
like after midnight.
Yeah,
Turning
opening
wrenches
night, like
until
everyone wanted to.
Saturday morning.
We about pulled the plug and didn't do it. Like just
Whoa.
didn't go to opening night and just took another week or two to, I guess we should have, but at the same sense, I think we won the second week. So I'm happy we went the first week to get I was using it as a test, basically.
Yeah.
I rode around the back most of the race.
Making sure your car didn't
Just making
crumble.
sure, the car was hitting the racetrack because we run it, a quarter inch off the track. So our heights weren't right. And there's a lot of things like that we were fine tuning on. So we just rode around the back, made it better all night, and come back the next week and won. So, it was worth throwing it together and getting out there and getting some track time.
Yeah. And where does the car stay?
My house. Well, Daddy Winky's house. Daddy.
Well, who say if you do work? You said they need to be worked on 3 times a week. Say if there's a week where you are doing that, or even if it's 2 days a week. Who is that? Just you and your dad, or because that's kind of far away.
Me, my dad, and my father-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, my father-in-law's helped me a lot this year.
Yeah, because he's got a racing career too. So, not a racing career, but a history of racing.
Yeah. He's when it comes to racing, he's all in. All on board with whether it was 2 wheels or 4. But he's helped me a lot. Now that I'm living at his house, he's been out there helping me for hours a night too. So, but basically just me, my father-in-law, and my dad. But that's it. I mean, I don't have anybody come to my shop or the garage.
Or yeah, I mean, a lot of the guys store it at a shop that works on it during the week for them.
I mean, it's just in a house garage. On the one, it's a 2-car garage. He gave me one side. He took a classic car he had out and shuffled some stuff around. He has a shop down at the bottom half of the property that's full of his stuff, and he gave me enough room to have an area to work on my car. So, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's working. It's great. I have somewhere to work on my car. So, it's we've been doing the best with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think, it's there's not that many successful late model guys that still work on their own stuff. I messed up last time when I said this because I said you were the only one. Mason Bailey works on his own car a lot.
Yeah.
If I know for a fact.
Actually, I just seen Mason tonight.
Really?
Poco Loco.
Oh, yeah? He was
Yeah.
there too?
Yeah.
Oh, that little son of a... What, was he practicing tonight? Or trying to?
I think he was going to.
Rained
Yeah,
out?
it got rained out.
But no, just because he doesn't really... I don't know if he doesn't want to talk about it or if he doesn't... Just he doesn't post that much on social
Yeah,
media, but
yeah.
I'm friends with him on Snapchat.
Yeah.
And just about every night you get a text or a Snapchat or
Yeah,
whatever you want to call
yeah.
it from him, and it'll be like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
He's working on the car. So I
Yeah.
mean, he really is about it too every
Yeah.
day and getting his hands in there too. Because like I said, that not that many guys are doing that anymore.
No.
There's
And
only a handful of them
it's crazy to me to think that.
are running on y'all's level. Obviously, there's a bunch of
Right,
late models in the
right.
back that they don't
Right.
have any backing or anything. They're working
Yeah.
on it themselves.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about guys that are actually competitive.
Yeah.
I had one more question I wanted to ask you about. Where are you at in points now? Like you said, you weren't planning on even running for points anyway. 5th? That's
Mhm.
pretty good.
Yep.
And how many races are in a season there? Because that's partly the reason why a lot of guys can't run for points. 'Cause there's like
Yeah, well,
400
I don't
races.
know.
Yeah.
Well, we have.
Well,
so
we're disappointed,
so-
Emily.
I know.
every single weekend's a twin race.
I know.
So I think weekend wise, I think we're like 15 ish.
Like 30 races?
so, yeah.
Why?
So at least 15 weekends, right?
Yeah, I mean
it's
it's usually
really
2
close.
weekends out of a month is on average.
Yeah, every other week.
Yeah. So every other week.
And a long
And
season
then two races a weekend. So you're looking at a lot of races.
And do they do so many races? I know that they double up and do twin 60s for national points and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that why they run so many races too?
Yeah.
That's exhausting.
And you gotta think Peyton does any off week, he's somewhere else running twin nights. So if you look at national points,
Is that
so
what he does for a full-time job? Like, how does
Yeah.
this work?
yeah, he does.
And he makes enough money? Or
No, I don't know.
Well, we don't
You
have
need
to
to get
talk
him
about
on the show and ask him.
it. He won't even accept my... Anyway.
We're trying.
Yeah, I slid in his
I-
DMs. He left me
yeah.
on red, dude.
Damn, that's
Oh,
rough. That's
yeah,
rough.
dude. It was fucking
Might have to
embarrassing.
send him a message and be like, dude, you need to accept the Turn Left podcast. Come tell
Not
us.
even... It was my personal one.
Oh,
Maybe that's
oh.
part of the problem, too. But
Damn.
I even canceled it and resent it.
I got
Like a real loser. Now I feel like I'm freaking stalking the man. Okay? I'm talking about him out in my garage right now. You know, so-
Wow.
yeah.
hell, I don't even think I'm
Same with
friends
CE Falk. Accept it, dude. I'm not sending another one. It's getting embarrassing.
I gotta see. You've got me curious now. He might not be friends with me.
Ooh, we're gonna find out right now. But I bet he's friends with Emily, though. How weird would that be if he's not friends with you? But he's, it breaks my heart.
Sorry.
I was hoping that he hasn't been on Facebook since 2016 or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. That would make
No.
me feel a little bit better. But then again, I'm like,
It was pretty cool when he accepted. When did he?
don't boost him up. He
Does he have a
sucks.
blue check by his name?
Just kidding.
That would be like
No. He's not. He's not very
Could you imagine?
I would like him on here and know how he. I'm talking out my ass. He might have a job. I'm sure he does something, but how he does what he does. You know, does
He
he
could be
does
in
he do it
cryptocurrency or
because
something
he
like
has
that.
already has money through whatever, or has a business or something, or is he honestly doing it through racing? Be a good question.
Yeah.
I don't
I was
think
to say,
there's
if he's into cryptocurrencies, late model season's about to end right now.
Oh yeah,
'Cause it's not looking good.
it's falling.
Yeah, it's falling. Are you into any of that stuff?
No,
Anybody?
I was like anybody. I got like into it there for a little while, but I didn't put no real money into it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll ask him when he comes on next week.
When he comes on the show next week,
Yep.
that'd be badass.
I'll just message him one day and just ask him and see if he ever responds to that. But maybe that's what I'll try to do. I'll try to message him through the Turn Left podcast page, and he'll see that
We need to.
I've
just,
met some elite.
so
people
what
like
we need
y'all.
to do is we need to get him. Maybe we can set up somewhere at Dominion.
FaceTime him right now. Do you have his number?
No,
I'm just
I
kidding.
don't.
All right. Well. Oh, I know the other question I was going to ask you. And I watch your in-car cameras, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm just nervous thinking about it. So at a track like Dominion, or even Southside, just because of the I don't know, the tighter the track, almost the higher the intensity, but versus motocross, where would you compare the two? Because
Like on an intensity aspect.
adrenaline.
Yeah. Moto's got it beat adrenaline wise
Think so?
for sure.
Or you know so?
I know so. Yeah. I mean, but I don't know. I think it's the risk factor. You know, moto you're really risking everything.
You're literally
really.
scared
You're exposed.
to death.
You're exposed. Yeah. I mean, you're
Got
you're.
nothing holding you together
yeah.
except for a helmet.
I mean, if you make a mistake you're really on the edge risking it in moto, and you mess up and you do crash, you're probably going to either wake up in the hospital, or if you're not so lucky,
wake up in pain, or just
or
roll
just
over in pain.
not ever get put out and you're in pain until you get to the hospital, which
Yeah.
is even worse. You're better just to get knocked out and just wake up and it's over. But so there's I think there was a lot more risk there. Not that there's any there's a financial risk.
Yeah,
in this,
no, just
but
talking about the injuries makes me think about last time. We got right into the show talking about my third
The
leg
handlebar
injury, and
into
then
the-
you were
into the gut.
you were talking shit. We'll say,
yeah.
yeah, that was big. So yeah, all right. So sorry I interrupted
was
you.
a
I just
big
couldn't help but
get-off.
laugh. I literally thought about it. I'm like, oh my god, because right before we went live, you were like, somehow we always talk about.
I might still have them pants. I need to bring them pants.
Don't
in here
you don't
and
have to
hang
bring
them
those
up on the
here.
wall.
You can send me a picture of them. But I'm saying like, all right, let's put it this way: like when you're playing a video game and it's a tight race, if it's like
Yeah.
online,
Yeah.
against a real person or against your buddy that's good,
Yeah.
like a NASCAR video game,
Yeah.
and you get down the last 2 laps, and you're doing the thing that you did with Peyton Sellers, y'all are racing back and forth. You know that level of like your heart's racing, even like maybe not even more in real life, maybe a little bit more, but than in the video game, as opposed to in motocross, you're so literally scared almost for your life
Yeah.
the whole time that you might not even be able to get that
Yeah.
excited about how close the race is and stuff.
Yeah,
Or because
yeah.
I never led any laps in motocross or anything.
Yeah.
I know that you had success in that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So tell me,
It-
is there a comparison there, or do you not feel it as much on a dirt bike because it's so intense?
I think
or
on a dirt bike, your heart rate's high the whole time. So
it's not
even
in a race car?
I've never done a heart rate monitor on a race car. I don't know. I would imagine it probably is.
In a late model, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, well, in anything. I mean, it might get high in a go-kart when I race. I mean,
Yeah,
You
well,
the
especially the last
intensity.
couple laps.
I think you get wrapped up in the race. That's what brings your heart rate up no matter what you're in. But, yeah, I mean, I would say moto, you definitely have a higher heart rate for sure. Just it's more physically demanding. It's,
Way more.
even, I think the cars, I can't even really say this for sure, but it might be as mentally demanding. But, moto's just brutal all around. So,
Yeah, I'd say mentally they're about equal, but
yeah.
the only aspect to the racing car that makes it hard is if obviously your steering or power brakes go out, or you probably don't even have power brakes, do you?
No.
But still, you have a setup with long,
Yeah.
for that.
It feels.
But if you have power brakes and you lose power brakes,
yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that, and then the heat. On a
The
dirt
heat,
bike,
yeah.
you sweat and you get hot just because you're working so hard.
Yeah.
It's the second most physically demanding sport,
Yeah.
motocross.
Yeah.
So you're not
Yeah.
going to even compare it to anything really, other than soccer is the number one, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Soccer.
But the heat in the race car is
Yeah. It's hot.
it's enough to make you like want to pass out. Like if on a dirt bike you're getting hot because you're working really hard, you could always you fatigue out and then you're fine. You're never
Yeah.
gonna like pass
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
In a car, it's literally getting
Yeah.
so hot like you start to get lightheaded sometimes after a race. Like
Yeah.
once you calm down and like you're pulling in the pits one time, I had like this long red flag and stuff this one night, and I remember pulling the pits back when it was Grand Stock. I don't think this would happen in like a U-Car mini stock or anything
Yeah,
like that, but
yeah.
in the Grand Stock, I mean, it was so hot, dude, and I'm up in attics all day, so I'm like literally trained. I'm the
Yeah,
best one in the
yeah,
field for
yeah.
this, and I'm rolling back in the pits like, oh my god, like
It consumes you.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like taking deep breaths and no air,
Yeah.
and hot as hell.
Yeah.
But I think still, I guess motocross physically would be
I've had my shoes, my soles get so hot that it slip like the rubber gets so
Yeah,
hot that
me
it
too.
melts, like it slips on the gas pedal or
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah. I've had it too. Remember
Yeah.
my old shoes
Yeah,
are just
it's-
melted on the heel.
It's pretty. I mean, the heat's brutal.
Especially when you're like a savage
And-
like me, run the exhaust and he runs it right against the floorboard.
I've
and
been a
everything like-
savage this year. I don't even run an air duct in my car.
Yeah, I never had one.
Like nothing. And they're like, yeah, that's what I said.
I didn't say it. Somebody whispered it backstage.
Yeah.
It was probably Tina. She's got a filthy mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Just saying. Filthy probably wasn't a good word.
Like that.
What were we talking about last night? You can say anything you want about a woman as long as you put little before it.
Oh yeah.
You do it. I don't want to. Yeah, it's touchy if I say it.
Like little bitch.
Well,
Sounds a lot.
there was more
like-
intense ones last night.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
yeah.
do you want me to?
I mean, hey. Just tell me. I don't know what you're about to. I think she's about to put out something worse than what we talked about last night. So maybe hold off.
Just that
You're gonna be scared there.
And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say because there could go so many ways.
Yeah. This isn't pre-recorded anymore. Not that I ever edited anything out on those, but the bottom of Cameron's shoes melted in the 41. Is that would have been the Grand Stock. So yeah, he drove Grand Stock for a while.
Awesome.
Think about the time that your dad ran in like loafers.
I think they were like.
They were like Skechers, like slip-ons.
Well, Bud Allen, when he raced at Shenandoah, he wore Crocs, but not the Crocs, but like the real shoe, but
Yeah,
Croc brand.
yeah.
But like still a slip-on like dad shoe type
Yeah.
thing,
Really?
and just a
Yes.
fire suit. I mean, this was also 5 or 10 years ago, and at Shenandoah of all places.
Well,
I
they
mean,
don't-
you don't even have to have shoes on at Shenandoah. You can wear jeans and a t-shirt at Shenandoah and race.
I race barefoot.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I've won a late model race there.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah,
He never stops.
I have.
When was that?
2012.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, you've been late model racing for a long time.
Yeah.
Did you tell me who does your suspension setup? You said it's pretty much a combined. I'll
It's
probably cut you off. I do it a lot.
hippie.
Oh yeah, you
yeah,
said that.
yeah.
Duh. I never opened this message, so whatever. And a lot of people still ask me like, "How do you get through the corner so well?" Because everybody thinks I'm Alex, because they can't figure it out.
Yeah.
So like I said, I get text messages all the time, or messages on Messenger app all the time, like, "What are y'all doing? What kind of spring are y'all running in the right front of that thing?" I'm like, "Message Alex."
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Car question.
Mm-hmm.
Are they supposed to be stock?
Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean, there's whatever the rules say,
What's
but
the rules? Well,
stock springs.
so what's this? What spring you run? I'm running a stock one.
Yeah, no, well, that's what I'm saying. That's pretty much. A lot of people are like, "What motors do y'all run?" And thing. Who's builds y'all's motors?
That's why I get so confused with cars.
Do they do have?
I mean,
engine
I know
builders?
they're cheated up like a son of a gun,
They check compression. There's really not so much you can do.
but like you start putting springs in and stuff. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they tech that kind of stuff.
Oh.
The tech on U cars is pretty serious because it's not that hard to do.
Yeah.
Because there's not that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
can check a spring, kind of like in street stock. The way they used to check the springs to make sure they weren't too big.
Yeah.
They knew that a stock spring in that car, only a 5/8 wrench would fit around it.
Right.
So if
Something
you go up to
simple.
it
right.
and it doesn't fit on the
Well,
spring,
what
you
about
know it's too
like
thick.
like camber?
You're allowed to run camber up to 5 degrees.
Okay. Okay.
That's what
So you can slot the strut and
somebody not me, got disqualified for the last race of the season at like
Right.
5.5 degrees of camber.
Wow.
Won the race. Still won the
half-
championship,
half
but
a degree. I mean,
it matters. I mean, he was smoking them. He was
Really?
fast. Well, in a front-wheel drive car that has no power, I mean, getting through the corner and keeping
Yeah,
the
yeah.
momentum up is everything.
Can you camber the right rear?
I think at Dominion you are allowed to, but we've never. You don't want to do that. A lot of guys do. I see it even at Southside where I think you weren't allowed to. You'd be sitting behind a guy on pit road, and
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
it's obvious as anything. But you get out there and they run 2 tenths slower than you, so it's like
It's like
that ain't
whatever.
it.
Go
Jack.
ahead. Go.
Yeah.
Keep going that way.
Put it in the left rear too. The
Yeah.
people would. It's like
Yeah.
the bitch isn't even on the ground.
Yeah.
Davey, your U car had 5 degrees when you sold it to me. You had a U car? Oh yeah, you did. You said you had one for a little while and you were going to think about messing around.
And that thing was stock, Cameron. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Somebody bumped him when he was pulling it on the trailer. That's what Alex
The guy was
said.
driving it to work that way.
Yeah. Well, there you go. If Philip Gillum, do you know who that is? What's up, Philip?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, do we?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Philip.
What
I
would
didn't
you-
mess up his last name, though. And Ronnie. What's up, Ronnie? All right. I think that about wraps it up. I got everything about the NASCAR, everything about the motocross. I changed my shirt.
Looking solid.
Thanks, buddy. I've been hitting the gym a lot lately, every day. And I had Corona a couple months ago. I've been stronger since. Dude.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm like
You got
Spider-Man.
Corona?
I'm the Corona guy.
What happened?
It's like a superpower.
How was it?
It was like not really anything. I had the chills for a day, but it was cold that day, so
Damn.
that was
He
cold.
said his scalp hurt.
My scalp hurt.
Like,
My
is
hairs
that-
were growing hard that day, though. What?
Man, at least you got hairs to grow.
Yeah, well, they're thinning.
Now, mine are gone.
Well, you're what, like a year or two older than me? I mean,
I'm almost 32.
we'll check in. Yeah, so you're a little bit older than me. We'll check in a couple years from now, and well, not only that, I don't know if you've ever seen my father, but I will be gray White, yeah. More like white,
White.
and I will not have much left.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Imagine if that were white. You'd look like you were...
Actually, it looks pretty damn good right now. I got a little sun on it this week.
Help build it.
Not at
Build it.
Dominion
It's like
today.
what they say:
No.
if you can't tone it, tan it.
I was say, were they even planning on
Can't grow it,
running?
tan it.
Yes.
What was I going to say? As far as, was it even supposed to rain today? Because it seemed like a lot of people went to the track and then it busted out of the middle of nowhere.
I think it was just it rained for really hard for like 30 minutes and it was done. By the time we got there, it was
Oh, my
What
dad's
up,
watching.
Daddy?
He said, "Ouch." He said his hair was white. My dad was like gray, like age 35 or something,
yeah.
or maybe even younger. Like I'm talking full head of gray. But you're a silver fox, Dad. It's okay. I was to say he's like always. It's not affecting him. Trust me. What were we talking about before that? Oh yeah, was it supposed to rain?
No. Not that
And it
I
just
know
busted
of.
wide
I
open?
think it was just a freak.
It's summertime in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Storms pop up.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a pop up.
Well,
Because when we got there, it was sunny. It was just it had rained too much,
Yeah.
and that track does not hold water, holds water too well.
Yeah.
So, and it seeps and all that. So, it was wasted. It'll probably be seeping all day tomorrow. So, I'll throw a little extra variable into the deal tomorrow.
Well, for drivers, like better drivers, that helps.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it when it's wet.
You gonna put it on him tomorrow?
Yes,
Yeah.
I hope so.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in,
Yeah.
everybody. Like I said, catch it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. After you get your 50th late model win, you can come on back in a year. Thank you, everybody. Peace out.
All right, peace.